YouTube Nation, Manvet TV, aka Me TV, aka Win, Lose, or Draw, aka Bye Week Drive, Now Week Ninny Bye, aka, you know what, today, we're going to get into the 1st of May to come. This video is done by massive request. Okay, yeah. For all you artists out there that have been asking me, you know, how did you do this? How did you do that? I've had other people say, Event, what do you do in your personal life? Event, what do you do? We understand you love video games, you love sports, you love all this other stuff. We get it. You have a lot of hobbies. You're a good, you're a good guy. You go around, you have fun. What do you do in your personal life? Well, I've been telling you guys for a while now that one of my many professions is animation. And I've been getting a lot of work. I've been getting a lot of questions about how to do this, how to do that, how did you get started, this, that, and third. So we're going to get into that today. Okay. I hope this video becomes the 1st of May to come to help young artists, make it in the field. So let's start with this. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna give you a little bit of history background. You see this? Yeah. Y'all know where this is coming from, right? Now I'm gonna show y'all the insides. I'm gonna show y'all something. You probably can't see all of it, but as you can see, this is a lot of shit. Look, let me tell you something. This bag alone, all right, weighs about 50 pounds. Now, I want to tell you guys something. That's about 50 pounds. Can you imagine walking? Because mind you, at the time when I went to school, Event didn't have the money like he has now. All right? So can you imagine going to school, living in North Philly, and for those who know North Philly, y'all know North Philly is a hell of a spot to live in, all right? 7 o'clock in the morning, walking with this bag, all right? 50 pounds, 7, 8 blocks to the L, right? Then when you get to the L, I got to take it down to 15th and Market. Now, anyone knows, of course, you can take the sub further. But as you know, like I said, I didn't have the money back then, so I had to walk it. That's right. So I had to go from 15th and Market to about 21st, 22nd Street with this bag on slugged over my shoulder, right? There was days where I had messed up my ankles when playing sports, so I had a cast on the ankle, walking in 20-degree weather. Yeah, I tell you guys, when you are an artist, you will suffer in the beginning, all right? Don't mind the sirens or whatever. We're going to talk through that, all right? Now, look, I also want to talk to you guys about financial aid real quick because you have to understand, when you live in a poor land, you don't have any family. I've been on my own since about, I want to say about 16, 17. So I did things on my own. I didn't have parents. Some of you guys, seriously, if you have moms and dads and this, that, and the third, cherish that. If they can push you through school and they're trying to help you, take every bit of that, okay? Because the fact is, guys, it's harder when you have to do things on your own. So because I was a student that didn't have anyone to co-sign for, they had to force an independent, all right? An independent, for those who don't know, that's an independent financial aid. That means it's going to hit you back in the long run harder. It says you don't have a co-signer, all right? Now, with that being said, let's get out of it. Now, I want to get into some questions because, like I said, I'm going to take you guys, animation-wise, from this random online disproportionate image to this. This is a small sample of my work. Now, before I get started, all right, on these questions, and you will see this pad a lot more because I want to make sure I hit certain points, to give you guys the information that you need. But there's also questions that need to be answered. And before I get started on them, I want to say that whoever drew that picture that I showed earlier that I said was disproportionate, it doesn't mean that it's a bad drawing, all right? It means that they just need a lot more work, and it also means that as long as they can work hard on it, they can get better, all right? So in no means am I saying that drawing sucks, this, that, no way. All right, now let's get to these questions, all right? Because a lot of people are asking me to say, Event, what should I expect when I decide to go into art school? Look, when you go into art school, there's going to be a lot of things you have to work on. And I'm going to tell you guys the programs that you will need before even stepping foot in that door, all right? Now, when I went to school, we had to learn Photoshop. You need to have Illustrator, and you also needed PowerPoint. Now, look, let me tell you something. With Photoshop, if you're not doing computer animation, you're doing hand-drawn animation, you will still have to do the basic Photoshop. All right. Now, when we had our classes for Photoshop, we had about 40 to 50 students. But I would say 40. I'd say 40 students to one class, and about 3 of us had experience in Photoshop before coming in the art school. That goes to show you something. Now, I know Photoshop is bigger now, but it's good that you know your Photoshop. All right. It gives you a heads up. With Illustrator is pretty much what they're going to use. You can now, mind you can switch files from Photoshop to Illustrator, but that's not what I'm getting. Illustrator was used for how to make logos and things for companies. Now, as you can see, you can look at any sign or anything like that, any ad, and see big flashy logos. That's what Illustrator is used for. They will teach you that in art school as well. PowerPoint is the business point of everything. Now, look, I personally thought that they would evolve by now and use Premiere, all right, but they don't. They want to use PowerPoint, to be on point. They don't want to take a more artistic view, but that's art versus business. They will teach you these things in art school as well. These are the basics that you will need to know. And make sure you master these. If you young students, if you are in high school right now, know these. Know these before you even walk in. Have a leg up on your competition. Because I'm telling you now, artists in school definitely are competitors. Because when you do things like quarterly projects and things like that, they will sit back and watch your project or view your picture or any type of presentation you're doing, and motherfuckers will hate on it. They will hate hard on you. All right? So when I sit here and talk about all these little clowns on YouTube, this isn't shit. They don't know. When you get hated on in the real world, because artists, I'm telling you now, you have to learn how to take criticism. You have to. It's a part of life. You have to. But these are the 3 things you need to know introductory wise going into class. All right. Now, the next one, it says, event. How do I draw lifelike? You know, they want to know how. All right. Now look. There's a program out there called Posers if you don't want to go outside. But look, this is how we had to do it. You either had to do life drawing classes, which you will get in school. And I'm telling you guys now, when you have life drawing classes, yes, you will see nude men and women. Don't stare at them. Draw the damn picture, and that's it. All right? They're already up there on a podium or whatever film emasculated it is. Don't make it harder for them than what it is. It's a growing up process. And I'm telling you, when you start doing art, I understand that a lot of people now, they're looking at women and saying, you know, like on TV or in pictures or on YouTube, and they're saying, damn, that chick is hot. Trust me, when you get into art school, you will look at every body and everything as it's just one shape, pretty much. All right? Everyone has a different proportion. Every human body is different, but you're not going to be sitting there drawing the whole time. Damn, that nipple is, oh my God, that's great. You're not, because you're too busy focused. Because when you do life drawing classes, they take you in steps and in seconds. Meaning, a person will do one pose for 15 seconds to 20 seconds. Another, then they'll switch a pose another 15 to 20. You're not going to get a chance to do slow in detail. You're not going to have that time. You're not. They're just teaching you how to get the flow of the human body. Now, that's life drawing classes. If you don't have life drawing classes, I don't know if I already said it, but there's a program out there called Poser you can use as well. Also, the stick figure guy. For those who know what I'm talking about, this guy. That guy will help you immensely. Let me tell you, I've seen students who cannot get out at times because they're so busy with other projects in school, they would use that guy. It would save them. All right. Now that guy costs about $10 to $15. Okay. If you can't afford that, if you can't afford Poser or that, I would expect you to go look into the hand-me-down type shop. All right. There's a lot, and I don't mean hand-me-down as in poor or whatever. There's students you have to understand. When you were buying these things from the schools or whatever, they're charging you over the top dollar. Okay. And then the students don't have any use for it anymore, especially with books. So they don't have any use for it. So they try to sell them for cheaper. You can get it for cheaper. All right, I've seen max for those type of figures, maybe 20 bucks from a retail store. But that's just max. Okay, if you can't afford that, like I said, you can go the cheap student route, because I'm sure a lot of you will try to save money, or you can go to the park and go and draw people as they walk by. Now let me tell you something, all right? Because we're gonna get into this next week as well. You're gonna have your pen, of course. I mean your pencil, not your pen, your pencil, all right, and your pad. Now, also remember this. You do not use a number 2 pencil to draw. No, you don't use a number 2 pencil to draw. If you're a beginner, you do no. All right, let me tell you something. You use a blue pencil or a red pencil. Why? Because they erase, when you make a mistake and you see something that's detailed because you just sketched something out and then you make a hard line over it, you can erase over that. You get what I'm saying? That's how it works. Now, with that being said, let me say that you don't use an eraser from off your pencil. No, that's going to fuck you up. Don't do that. All right, you need to go and get a kneaded eraser. And now I have one in here somewhere. Next, if you need to know what it looks like, I'll put a link in the info bar for now. Next week, I'll actually show you. It's somewhere in my bag here. I'll dig it out and show you guys. All right, I'm not going to waste time with that. But the fact is, guys, I know there's a lot of you guys saying right now. Well, Vic, how do we get any type of detail? Look, like I said, your life drawing classes will give you 10, 20, 30-second poses. However, you will get to that point where they give you more than that, right? They're starting to advance. You can even almost have it in the same class possibly, where they'll give you 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute poses. Those models work hard to stay still. And all right, them people work hard. You will get anywhere from attractive dancers to, guys who are chiseled. You'll get people who are obese. You'll get older looking people whose body is broken down over the years. You will get it all. And I'm telling you now, like I said before, stay focused. Do not gawk and stare. I've seen it happen with students, and guess what? They got kicked out of class for it because they're not focusing. Like I said, those people standing up there, do not need to be any type of taunted or anything. No, it's ridiculous. All right? But if you need any type of detail now, you don't have those resources that I've been talking about. You see this? Remember this? Yeah, this is your friend. Remember back in elementary school when you used to draw a turkey, what they tell you? Trace your hand. Didn't they say that? Didn't they say that? All right, that's what you do now. If you don't, you put your hand on the table, and if you're going to draw your whole hand, you trace your hand first. All right? Then you go through every little detail that you see. Any crack of skin, any hair, that's how you get better. Okay? Now, like I said, now if you're not going to draw your hand flat like this, because as you know, a hand doesn't stay flat. It has a curvature to it. So that's how you draw. You don't need to trace your hand in. You draw it the way you see it. Like I'm looking at my hand right now. I would draw it the way I see it. That's how you do it. You don't trace it. Okay? Once you master that, you're pretty much ready for the next level. Like I said, I'm going to take you guys in baby steps, all right? Because you guys, you have to understand, before you step into an animation class, you're going to get bombarded by all types of different classes, all right? And we're going to talk about papers too, because next week we're going to talk about papers. Because certain paper isn't good for certain pencils, all right? Yeah, we're not even talking animation cells yet. Baby steps, okay? But the fact is, you're going to have classes that have nothing to, I won't say nothing to do, but classes that are not even ready for you're not even ready for animation yet. All right? We're going to talk about survey and media. I'm talking about this next week. We're going to talk about, but you will be sitting in class like this, watching Andy Warhol, and you'll be watching Van Gogh, and we'll talk about that as well later down the line with painting and color wheels and stuff like that. But you will learn all of this because that's the history of art. So when I hear people, when I talk to them already, and they said, oh, we took you more as a Jack Kirby type drawing. Look, I can draw many different styles. That's what survey and media is for. Because they're teaching you all these different styles, all right? Even though you're not actually drawing, they're teaching you the history of it, all right? Like I said, when I was in art school, the big thing was Invader Zim. They wanted you to draw more of that style. Now the big thing is, if you go to any art school, it's anime, all right? Now, like I said, I was drawing anime before it was popular, all right? So I was already there. When I'm talking about in an art school sense, okay? There was not just me, but there was many of us who did it as well, all right? But fact is, guys, you have to watch how the market moves. And I say this animation-wise, and so you can understand, guys, now why you see when I say about, video games and this, this isn't done right and this isn't done right and it lacks qualities. This is why. Because when you're learning animation, they're going to teach you everything. All right? They're going to teach you fashion. Yeah. Remember my Devil May Cry videos? The fashion, they're going to teach you character design. You have to understand certain character designs will be shot down by companies because the character is too expensive to make. So when you hear me say things like that, it goes deeper than what it is, all right? Instead of me just being some random YouTuber who makes blanketed statements saying, I did my research. No, there's more to this. If you have not stepped in this type of business, you do not know. But it's okay. It's okay. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is get ready for that. We're going to talk about a lot of things next week. And I will answer, like I said, I will answer your comments in the comment box. And if I don't answer you, I'll let you know, hey, I'm going to save this question for next week because it's more important, all right? I'm not saying that all you guys aren't important, but it's a big thing that I need to hit on. So, guys, y'all get ready for that. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm hoping this helps you guys, all right? Like I said, we'll do this every week from now on. I'll talk to y'all then. I'm out.